The Spanish Grand Prix has been a permanent fixture on the Formula One calendar for over 30 years now, and for good reason. Do you remember Michael Schumacher's absolute dominance here in that rain-soaked Grand Prix in 1996? That day he took his first ever victory for Ferrari, and we've had many more iconic moments since. The Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya then, a high-speed 2.89-mile circuit which demands an efficient downforce package and bravery on the part of the driver, especially through the blind right of turn 9, which we might just see taken flat this weekend. And I'm joined once again by Anthony Davidson to bring you the lowdown for today's race. Let me ask you about Renault. We have a number of changes to the aerodynamic regulations this year, and the signs haven't looked good for them so far in terms of getting to grips with those changes.
It doesn't look promising for them so far. And if the new regs have hit them as hard as we think, well, I suspect they may need a few late nights at the factory to get back on track.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position, and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Ricciardo, Charles Leclerc, and Sainz, a Red Bull, Ocon, Gasly, and Sebastian Vettel, Norris, Perez, Nicholas Latifi, and Russell, Stroll, Kvyat, Kimi Raikkonen, and Antonio Giovinazzi. Grosjean and Kevin Magnussen fills the last spot on the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
It's the Spanish Grand Prix. Valtteri Bottas starting on pole as we go to 5. Red lights. And it's lights out and away we go. Valtteri Bottas does not get a great start, but it's going to be good enough to cover off Max Verstappen. Verstappen got a great start. Lewis Hamilton did not get a great start. We are already on the outside of a couple of cars. We're side by side with the Renault. Lewis Hamilton side by side with Max Verstappen, but Verstappen stays ahead of Lewis Hamilton, and Valtteri Bottas leads quite a bit from Max Verstappen. Then sets in Lewis Hamilton, and then comes us. Then comes a Ferrari. I think it's Charles Leclerc. The two racing points are going side by side at the moment. So let's see who can get on top. And it's Lance Stroll on the inside, Sergio Perez on the outside. On the exit, let's see who can get a better exit, and it will be Lance Stroll just ahead of his teammate Sergio Perez at the start. So Stroll getting past Perez at the start of this race. And Valtteri Bottas leads from Max Verstappen, then comes Lewis Hamilton, then comes us, then comes Charles Leclerc, and then comes Daniel Ricciardo. So Ricciardo's had a great season so far, and he can score some great points today as well. Around the final couple of corners, Valtteri Bottas will lead us on the first lap from Max Verstappen, who is a charging bull at this point in the race. And he's very, very quick over Valtteri Bottas, but Bottas still leads the first lap. And into the pits comes us, and also Charles Leclerc. We will be going on to a set of medium compound tires. So the second hardest compound that is available to us. Leclerc is going on to the hard compound tire, the hardest of the range of sets that we have. And so Leclerc is going on a completely different strategy from ourselves. So that might work out for Leclerc or may not, because those are hard to warm up. Into the pits on the next lap comes Max Verstappen, and so does Lewis Hamilton. Verstappen and Hamilton are both going onto a set of medium compound tires. So as you see the Mercedes crew, they are both on medium compound tires. So Max Verstappen is doing the same strategy as us, and he is trying to undercut Valtteri Bottas. Here comes Lewis Hamilton on one of the back markers around the outside of Kevin Magnussen. As you can see, Magnussen's on board there. They are side by side going through the next couple of corners, and Lewis Hamilton just gets ahead of Kevin Magnussen as Magnussen is on old softs. Valtteri Bottas is coming out of the pits. Has the undercut worked? Max Verstappen, it has! He is into the effective race lead of the Spanish Grand Prix. He's won here in 2016, and now he has a chance to win here this year. Max Verstappen is into the effective race lead. Around the final corner they go. Valtteri Bottas is dropping back from Max Verstappen, and Verstappen is really starting to do very well in this race. And is that his engine gone? It is Max Verstappen's engine gone. So Verstappen, oh no, he's done a spectacular race. It's been almost flawless, and Max Verstappen is out of the Spanish Grand Prix, and that's another DNF. And it's 2 DNFs in the span of 2 races, and we take over P3 from Max Verstappen. Verstappen should have won. Here's what happened. Let's have a listen. And his engine just goes. And so unfortunate for him. That was a genuine engine failure. Last time out at Zandvoort, it was one of the it was a problem with ICE or something. This is a straight up engine failure. So unfortunate for him. Let's take a look, and there it goes. So unfortunate, and the Honda engine just couldn't handle it. Max Verstappen, he's done a stellar race, and that's so unfortunate to see him out. Around the final couple of corners, Valtteri Bottas, he started on pole. Max Verstappen got past him, but in the end, it will be Valtteri Bottas who wins the Spanish Grand Prix for Mercedes, and it's Lewis Hamilton to cap off a 1-2 finish for Mercedes. Then comes us, then comes Charles Leclerc.
Another Spanish Grand Prix is over, and what a special race it was. Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
Well, I think it was clear what the main contributing factor out on the track was today: speed. I know it sounds like an obvious thing to say, Crofty, but fast cars win races, and we saw that today with our winner.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today.
It's another 1-2 for Mercedes. Valtteri Bottas wins from Lewis Hamilton. Then comes us in the Red Bull: Daniel Ricciardo, Carlos Sainz, Charles Leclerc, Lando Norris, Esteban Ocon, Nicholas Latifi, Lance Stroll, Pierre Gasly, Sebastian Vettel. Then comes Sergio Perez. It's time for our post-race interview. It's very unfortunate for Max. I'm lucky that I haven't really experienced problems with my engine, but Honda really needs to step up at the moment, because 2 DNFs in a row due to engine. I don't think that should be happening. And he took it, and it took a podium away last race, and almost sure victory today in this race. So hopefully we can get that sorted with Honda, and hopefully they can update their engine maybe. Or hopefully it can get more reliable and more powerful. But in the end, P3 for us, not a bad finish after starting around P6, so not too bummed out about the race. So sad about Max, but in the end, a podium is alright.